Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Shreya Upadhyaya. I have a question for you. How would you feel if the picture that you posted online when you were at a wedding was morphed without your permission into one where you're wearing a bikini or you're seen in a sexual position? You'd feel embarrassed, confused, and extremely outraged. Who did it? Why was it done? And how can you report this harassment? This is exactly how the world reacted, especially women and girls, when they saw sexualized images being made one after another by Grok, the AI chatbot of X owned by Elon Musk. And it did so at a large scale, with ease, and in some cases with disturbing levels of graphic detail, leading to the big question of our times: how should AI be regulated? In the last few days, you must have seen headlines around Grok and Elon Musk. Let's begin with what happened. At the heart of this controversy is AI-generated sexual imagery, or deepfake, as it is popularly called. Using Grok's image generation tool, users were uploading or using the photograph of a real person and then asking Grok to generate sexual or naked images of that person. Highly graphic sexual imagery, violent sexual scenarios, and in some cases, content that appears to depict minors. No consent, no involvement from the person depicted. And what's alarming is that this wasn't fringe behavior. Toward the end of December 2025, such sexualized images were being generated as frequently as once every minute at the height of this trend. Several users on X began commenting on images of people, usually those of women, by tagging Grok and asking the chatbot to put her in a bikini or take her dress off. When people took notice, governments of India, UK, Germany, France, Malaysia, as well as the European Union asked Elon Musk in detail about the action he took to stop it. Elon Musk weighed in, saying that such a trend will not be tolerated and that users are liable. Yet the images continue to be created, shared, and weaponized. In fact, despite weeks of intense criticism and scrutiny, Musk's AI company has raised $20 billion in its latest funding round. And here's a common defense that you may hear on this. These images aren't real. They're generated, so no physical harm occurred. But this argument doesn't hold up. The damage is reputational, it's psychological, and it is social. Victims have reported anxiety, fear, professional fallout, and harassment. Because once such an image has a digital existence, you do not have control over it. So why was this allowed in the first place? Both X and XAI, the company behind Grok, say that this content violates their policies. Then how is it still happening? Experts point to three major failures. The first one, moderation happens after the images are generated and not before that. It means the harm is already done. Second, users have learned how to game the system using indirect prompts or coded language to bypass filters. And third, the separation between X and Grok's own platform creates a blind spot, content that isn't widely visible but is still easily shareable. In simple terms, the filters exist, but they are not strong enough. So if not company policies, can you take the legal route against the handle which morphed your photograph? Well, in many countries like the United States, Australia, United Kingdom, and India, sharing non-consensual sexual images is illegal. Even threatening to share them is illegal. But creating them? Well, here's where the ball gets stuck. Most countries do not have stringent laws for AI-created non-consensual images, especially in case of adults. And platforms can conveniently argue, we'll take it down if someone complains. But by then, the image has been downloaded, reposted, and weaponized against you. That puts the first onus on platforms. If a platform makes it easy to generate abusive content, shouldn't it bear responsibility when abuse occurs? Why allow realistic sexual image generation using real faces? Why rely on victims to report abuse? Why can't platforms themselves have mechanisms to instantly identify and remove sexualized content? The second onus lies on governments to be more tech aware, implement stricter laws on AI misuse, and make tech giants liable for any socially sensitive content that outrages a person's modesty. Well, what's the status in India? 3 major laws address the deepfake challenge. The Information Technology Act, under which sections 66C and D can be used to file cases of identity theft. Section 66E can be used to file a case if your privacy is violated and non-consensual images have been shared. Section 67 and 67A address obscenity and deepfake porn. And Section 79 and intermediary rules can be used against platforms to make them liable for illegal content and identifying synthetic media. The second law is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, under which non-consensual deepfakes can attract penalties of up to 250 crore rupees. The Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita also takes on the problem of digital crimes. Section 353 against misinformation, Section 356 against online defamation, and Section 319 against cheating using AI tools can all be used if you become a victim of an artificial intelligence crime. The National Artificial Intelligence Governance Guidelines, which were released in 2025, are a policy framework and not a binding law. It seeks to balance innovation with safety and rights protections. Like the European Union's AI Act, India is yet to pass a comprehensive, dedicated national AI law that directly regulates AI and its use. However, the Information Technology Act, which is the foundational law against cybercrimes in India, states that platforms must remove illegal or harmful material once notified. Beyond laws, this controversy marks a shift. For years, tech companies argued that AI outputs were unpredictable and that harm was accidental. But the reality clearly is otherwise. So here's the bottom line. This isn't a moral panic. It isn't about censoring technology, and it isn't about banning artificial intelligence. It's about accountability. The law must catch up. Platforms must design safer systems. And society? Well, each one must decide where to draw the line before the damage becomes irreversible. Because when powerful tools meet weak safeguards, abuse isn't an anomaly, it is an outcome.